Another day, another story. Poverty and the struggles of rural life. Godan portrays the difficult and harsh life of rural farmers in India during the early 20th century. The novel shows how poverty, indebtedness, and the lack of resources and opportunities trap people in a cycle of struggle and despair. Hori, the protagonist, represents the millions of farmers in India who are struggling to make a living, and who are often exploited and oppressed by the wealthy and the powerful. Welcome to Tabo Imminent Channel. Caste system and social inequality. The novel highlights the pervasive influence of the caste system in Indian society at the time. It shows how caste-based discrimination and prejudice create barriers for people and limit their opportunities. The lower caste are portrayed as marginalized and oppressed, and their struggle for dignity and equality is a central theme of the novel. Corruption and exploitation. The novel exposes the corruption and exploitation that was rampant in Indian society during the early 20th century. It shows how the wealthy and the powerful use their position to exploit the poor and the vulnerable. Hori and his family are victimized by corrupt moneylenders and officials, who take advantage of their poverty and ignorance. Impact of colonialism. The novel also highlights the impact of British colonialism on Indian society and the economy. The British Raj is portrayed as an oppressive force that exploits and oppresses the poor farmers and traders. The novel shows how the colonial policies and practices led to the impoverishment and suffering of the Indian people. Humanism and spirituality. Despite the grim portrayal of the struggles and challenges faced by the characters in the novel, Godan is ultimately a story of humanism and spirituality. The novel emphasizes the importance of compassion, kindness, and generosity, and shows how these values can transform people's lives. The spiritual dimension of the novel is evident in the portrayal of the cow as a sacred and revered symbol of life and abundance. Family relationships and gender roles. The novel also explores the complexities of family relationships and gender roles in rural Indian society. Hori's family is depicted as a microcosm of Indian society, with its hierarchies, conflicts, and expectations. The novel shows how traditional gender roles and patriarchal values shape the lives of women in Indian society, and how they are often denied agency and autonomy. Power of education. Education is another important theme in the novel. The lack of education and awareness among the poor farmers is portrayed as a major obstacle to their development and progress. The novel shows how education can empower individuals and communities and enable them to break free from the cycle of poverty and oppression. Irony and satire. Munshi Premchand uses irony and satire to expose the hypocrisy and contradictions of Indian society. The novel uses humor and sarcasm to critique the social and cultural norms that perpetuate poverty and inequality. The novel's satirical tone is especially evident in its portrayal of the wealthy and the powerful, who are often depicted as corrupt and callous. Symbolism. The novel makes use of various symbols to convey its themes and messages. The cow, for instance, is a central symbol in the novel, representing wealth, prosperity, and the sacredness of life. Other symbols, such as the water buffalo, the plow, and the snake, are also used to convey deeper meanings and insights. Literary style. Godan is known for its literary style and the richness of its language. Munshi Premchand's prose is characterized by its simplicity, clarity, and elegance. The novel uses a mix of Hindi, Urdu, and local dialects, which adds to its authenticity and realism. The novel's use of vivid descriptions and metaphors also adds to its power and impact. Religion and spirituality. The novel explores the role of religion and spirituality in Indian society, especially in rural communities. The characters in the novel are deeply influenced by their religious beliefs and practices, which shape their worldviews and values. The novel portrays the rich diversity of religious traditions in India, and shows how they can provide comfort and meaning in the face of hardship and adversity. Political and social change. The novel also reflects the political and social changes that were taking place in India during the early 20th century. The struggle for independence from British colonial rule is a backdrop to the novel, and is referenced through the characters' discussions and interactions. The novel also shows how the emergence of new ideas and movements, such as socialism and nationalism, were challenging the traditional values and structures of Indian society. Community and solidarity. The novel emphasizes the importance of community and solidarity in Indian society. The characters in the novel are part of tight-knit communities, such as the village and the caste group, which provide them with support and belonging. The novel shows how these communities can also be sources of conflict and division, but ultimately, it emphasizes the power of collective action and mutual support. Human suffering and redemption. The novel deals with the themes of human suffering and redemption, and shows how the characters' struggles and hardships can lead to personal growth and transformation. Hori, the protagonist, undergoes a profound spiritual and emotional journey throughout the novel, as he confronts his own limitations and the harsh realities of his life. The novel suggests that suffering can be a catalyst for spiritual awakening and moral growth. Historical context. Godan is set in a specific historical context, namely, the early 20th century in India. The novel reflects the social, economic, and political conditions of the time, and provides a vivid and realistic portrayal of Indian society during this period. The novel's attention to historical detail and accuracy makes it a valuable source for understanding the history and culture of India. Overall, Godan is a powerful and moving novel that addresses some of the most pressing issues and challenges facing Indian society at the time. Its themes and messages remain relevant to this day, and the novel is widely regarded as a classic of Hindi literature. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.